Hi guys, well, good afternoon and welcome to this very special edition of Coming to Your Sofa. For those that don't know, I'm Martin from Martin's Holiday Village, and we do these shows normally 3 times a week on a Tuesday to Thursday evening. But I'm delighted to say today we've got a very special guest waiting in the green room. I hope he's not too bothered that we haven't given him a drink or any food, but I'm sure he'll be fine. Fingers crossed anyway. But I'm delighted to say we have Shane Riley, who is the Associate Vice President of Virgin Voyages, with some very exciting news and to talk to you all today about Virgin Voyages. Shane, are you there?
I am, Martin. Here I am. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. Exciting day for you, isn't it, today?
Yeah, it's very exciting. Well, tomorrow's the big day, but yeah, it's been a very busy weekend and a very busy morning already this morning with everyone getting excited about our big reveal tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait. I've already got people lined up, ready to book, so
Good.
all good. So Shane, I mean, Scarlet Lady, she was built and she sailed to Dover and then to Liverpool. I think I was probably one of the last passengers on her in Liverpool, and then she hasn't done anything, has she, unfortunately?
Yeah, she's been a lady in waiting, shall we say. She's been waiting in the wings, ready for her chance to her stuff. So, yeah, you're right. She was constricting in Italy. She made her way around to the UK, did a little bit of a show off. And that's when, obviously, the pandemic really started to kick in. So we were en route to New York, and then we diverted to Miami. And then we just waited and thought it was going to be quite a quick thing, and we were back sailing. But of course, no one knew what was to come. So we brought her back to Europe. She came back to Italy, where we were repatriating some of our crew. And then she's been waiting there ever since to get going again. But I'm very, very excited that she will be making her way to UK waters in August. So she'll be coming back to where it all began.
Oh, it really is amazing to have her inaugural season in the UK in August. It's going to be amazing. It really is. And, you know, she's a beautiful ship, totally different from any ship that I've seen or been on. And I've been in the industry for many years, too many to mention. Probably a bit like yourself. You've been around a bit, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, I've worked for a number of other brands, and I was very lucky enough to be approached to join the Virgin Voyages team. And it's 3 years next month actually I've been here, so 3 years and we've not set sail yet. So it's been a long time that I've obviously been talking about Virgin Voyages. But I think for me, it is strangely, the experience is strangely familiar. So even though it's a new type of cruising, I think it's strangely familiar for people to when they get on board, because I think our experience is much more akin to how people live their lives in the real world. So we don't have main dining rooms with set dining times. Instead, we have 20 different eateries and restaurants that our sailors can enjoy, that are all included within the cost of the holiday. So it's like picking up the best diverse city block in the world and taking it out to sea. So you can have really casual light bites, so you can go for something a bit more sophisticated, like our steak and seafood restaurant at the Wake. So you've got so much choice included, but without those pesky cover charges for all of the restaurants, which I think is a big deal.
It's totally turning cruising on its head, because normally you'd have 2 or 3 choices, wouldn't you, on dining options included, you know, buffet, main dining. And then you've got 20 choices of dining, which, I mean, I experienced the pizza on there, and oh wow, that pizza was amazing, you know, when we were on board. So I mean, I didn't get the overnight, so we didn't do a lot of the other eateries. So with these ship visits you only get a little bit of time, but I was amazed. And just the flow of the ship as well is totally different, isn't it? It's not like your traditional ship. You've still got nature area, but it's not.
The flow of the ship is really different. So one of the things that we really wanted to try and resolve was all the pain points about cruising, right? So we know people love cruise holidays, and you and I do, and you and I take a lot of cruise holidays, and we love them for a lot of reasons. But we also try to find how can we virginize some of those things to make sure that we enhance the overall experience. And one of the ways by doing that is to avoid the feeling of mass, right? Nobody really wants to be in these kind of have to be herded around from one end of the ship to the other. And typically what happens is on ships, you have the main dining hall, and then you will have the theatre, and generally people leaving the restaurant at a similar time to all go to the show at a similar time. So you end up with this herd mentality that people are all leaving venues at the same time. So we thought, actually, can we redevise that? And by having all of these different restaurants and eateries throughout the ship, it means the whole sailor experience, everyone is spread out throughout the ship. So you don't have this one feeling that there's 600, 700 people in one space at any one time, because everyone is spread out throughout all of these different restaurants and eateries. So that was one of the ways that we were able to adjust and change the flow of the ship to have avoid that feeling of mass. And then, of course, when it came to the theatre, we wanted to be able to create a space that enabled us to enact and enable some of the most creative entertainers in the world to be able to create some unique entertainment. So we like to say unexpect the expected, because traditionally we all go on chips and the theatre is at the front and the theatre looks the same. It's the tiered seating and a stage. It looks like that. Where our entertainment space is called the Red Room, and it actually transforms into 3 different modes. So we can have traditional theatre mode, we can have the stage in the middle and have the audience on both sides, or we can actually have no seats at all and the whole room becomes one giant stage, and you're part of the experience. So we wanted to be able to have a venue that was multi-purpose, that wasn't just a theatre that not used all day. Instead, we can use and transform it to create these amazing different entertainment opportunities as well.
Oh, it just, I can't wait to get on. I mean, I'm speaking with the hubby about booking onto it, and we're definitely looking for the 6th of August. We're thinking of doing so. Be on there and sail away from Portsmouth. I was going to say Southampton now.
We're also used to say Southampton, right? But Portsmouth is a beautiful new terminal. So we've been in touch with the Port of Portsmouth for quite some time now, and they've got a beautiful terminal down there. Scarlet will be the largest ship that sailed into that terminal as well. So we're really excited to sail from there again out of Pompey. So that'll be we're really excited to work with the Portsmouth port, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for the city and obviously for us to be able to show off Scarlet down on the south coast.
It's going to be amazing. And those of them have never been to Portsmouth, you probably know where Portsmouth is, because when you sail out of Southampton, you see it looks like Dubai, doesn't it? The Spinnaker Tower.
Exactly. I always say the Virgin Arab of the south. Yeah. So you see the Spinnaker Tower on the way out of Southampton. So the good thing is we kind of, because Portsmouth is right on the south coast, we avoid that long time coming out to the sea, so we can get straight out and head south as quickly as possible as well. One of the other things that we've done, which was quite different, I guess, to the traditional cruise industry way of working, is to move away from this need and desire and push for all-inclusive drinks packages. And we wanted to, the drinks packages themselves are designed because individual drink prices are typically high. So cruise lines want you to take the drinks package because actually it's better for the cruise line for you to do that for their margin. So from our perspective, we wanted to flip that on its head, and we wanted sailors to be able to enjoy reasonable bar pricing without the need of having to take an all-inclusive product. But we also know people want to be able to pre-book. So we invented something called the bar tab. Now, the bar tab, we all know bar tabs, right? We all understand how they work. Someone puts money behind the bar and you go and get what you want. And that's exactly how our bar tab works. So our sailors can take a prepaid bar tab, which is in $300 increments. And up until the end of April, for every $300 they buy, we give them an extra $100. So $300 is worth $400 to spend in the bar. And there's no rules on how you use it. So if you wanted to buy a round of drinks, Martin, for everybody, you could. If you wanted to blow it all on a magnum of Moet, you can do. And so there's none of these typical cruise line restrictions where there's a cap on the price of the drink, or you can't buy your friends a drink, or all those kind of things. And you can use it for the whole cabin. So if you just want one bar tab and you can use it for yourself on your other half, you can do. We don't make both people have the same thing. So we've done away with some of these typical things that are frustrations or annoyances, because for both people to have an all-inclusive package, it might not always work out the best. So the bar tab is a really great intermediary to give our sailors the confidence that they can spend their bar tab with confidence, without having to think about they're going to have to try and get their money's worth of an all-inclusive drinks package.
So that sounds brilliant. It's a great idea. I mean, the idea that you can actually use it with your friends, or I'll get you a gin, or I'll get you a champagne, whatever. But, for those that are listening in, I don't know, because we don't know that Virgin Scarlet's not sail, nobody's been on board. What are the drinks prices like? Are they on par with other cruise lines, or are they better value?
So we benchmarked our drinks prices against the rest of the industry to try to make our drinks the better value. And we've also benchmarked it against land propositions. I would say you can compare our drinks to a cocktail bar in the major cities across the world. So a beer, for example, is $5. There's no gratuities or service charges to pay. The price you see is the price you pay. And cocktails are anywhere between $8 to $15, $20, depending on obviously the type of cocktail you want. One of the things that makes our drinks unique is the fact that we only have known brands. So if you were to order a gin and tonic, yes, there's what we call well brands, which are kind of our lowest entry level brands, which are the cheapest ones. They'll all be names that you know. So we haven't got any of this bootleg kind of unknown names. They'll all be Absolute Vodka or gins that you know the names of. But the whole purpose is we've made our drinks as reasonable pricing as we can, so people get on board and think, well, if I'm paying for something, it feels good value for money. So cocktails like $8 and $9, they're for kind of your majority of your cocktails. The majority of our wines are under $10 a glass or less. So we wanted to make sure that sailors had the huge choice of wines, because typically what happens is there's a very small selection under the certain price point, and the cruise lines obviously push the more expensive ones. But we have, I think it's over 60% of our wines are $10 or less. So it's a great opportunity as well. So, but we really we call it happy dollars. We only want our sailors to pay for something that they feel that they're getting good value for money for. And because we don't have an all-inclusive package, it means that we can really focus on the quality, right? And handcrafting these cocktails, because it's not about stack it high, sell it cheap type of thing. It's about actually handcrafting and curating some cocktails. And what I particularly love, there's a bar on board called On the Rocks. And I was lucky enough to be on board for a few nights when we brought the ship to the UK. And I would go to the bar, and the cocktail list was huge, but the waiter actually, the server, all of our servers are all qualified mixologists. And he basically asked the type of thing that I really enjoy. And I said, I really love gin. I don't like anything too fruity. I do like something that's got a bit of maybe a bit of ginger, those kind of things. And he recommended and created one for me and be able to create this whole, and it became really theatrical. I ended up with a cocktail with smoke coming out of it, which had like a bourbon smell. And he created something incredible. And I didn't know what it was called. It was kind of made like just for me almost. It was obviously on the menu. But it was a way for us to be able to match your kind of personality and what you love to the drink. So, and that helps our service to have that time, because normally with an all-inclusive package, obviously there's a need to try and get as much as you can out of it, and therefore it impacts the quality of the service and the quality of the experience. So after all of the research we did, our sailors told us they wanted quality ingredients, quality product, but they didn't want to pay through the nose for it. So that's why we tried to get that balance right.
That sounds amazing, that you can just go up, I want something with gin, and they'll just come up with this amazing cocktail on you. That would be really nice, when you take a picture of it. This was my cocktail. Nobody
it becomes
else.
Part of the experience, doesn't it? Because they get to know you as well. And then I then picked something else from the menu that I really enjoyed. And I said, I really enjoyed that one. He was like, if you like that one, then you're going to like this one. And then he would tailor it to you as well. And it is very theatrical in that sense. And then we've also got Sip, which is our champagne bar. And that's a place where you can just go and really relax and just unwind and have a glass of bubbles and some canapes. And it's a beautiful environment. But the thing that makes Virgin unique is we have got this relaxed luxe type of ethos. It's a bit like, Richard Branson in jeans and sitting in the front of the car. He's a billionaire, but doesn't expect to be chauffeured around in that way. So we take that ethos of dancing on tables and relaxed luxe to have that offer a premium experience. But it is not all about, tuxedos and 15 different knives and forks and 12 different glasses on the table. It's about, attainable luxury, I guess.
It's amazing. I mean, I know I was lucky to go to London when you had invited a lot of people down, and that was amazing. That just blew my mind that was going on in that party. It was just like, wow. And what I liked with the entertainment was it got people involved, didn't it? It wasn't like you were just watching the show. So, I know cruise is going to be slightly different when everybody starts. So what can people expect from the entertainment on board Virgin Voyages?
Yeah, good question. So we do say unexpect the expected. So we don't have the typical cruise director, because normally you've got this one person that's the star of the show, and this one person does everything. They're hosting events, they're going from one thing to another. Instead of that, we've got our happenings cast. So we've got a group of 12 people that have all got their own skill set in their own right. So we've got the artist on board called Simone. She's brilliant. She's actually an artist, and you may be sat in Sip having a glass of champagne, and she comes along and pops her easel up, and you start watching her create a watercolor, and some art comes alive in front of your eyes without realizing it. We've also got pop-up entertainment throughout. So think kind of Covent Garden type experiences where you could be sat and enjoying a drink, and something just happens around you. Literally a 15-minute show happens while you're sat, and you have to be in that moment, and other people might not have seen it because they weren't there. So there's this serendipitous approach to entertainment that we love, that things will just happen and we won't tell you when they're going to be. But then, of course, we have our scheduled entertainment where you would go to the Red Room, and you'll go to the Red Room and you're shocked that it's the same room that you went to the night before. Because, like I say, some nights there'll be no seating and you'll be part of the action. It's taking place all around you. And then other days you'll be sat in a traditional theatre mode, and there'll be the stage and the audience. And then my personal favourite is something that we call dual reality. And it's a story roughly based on Romeo and Juliet. And when you arrive to the Red Room, you are given a bandana, which is a red or a blue. And obviously, we'll slightly change this because of the COVID requirements. But when you go in, you'll either be a Capulet or a Montague, and you'll sit on different sides of the stage. And the story is told through these incredible acrobats, but you're never more than 10 seats away from the front. So you really kind of feel like you're part of the show. And I was lucky enough to be in the front row, and these guys were sliding down this rope and stopping a centimetre from the floor. Their noses were coming down to like a centimetre. So it really is like edge of your seat type of stuff. But you really get involved in it because as they're telling the story of Romeo and Juliet, you are a Capulet or a Montague. So I was a Montague. So I was cheering on the red team. Like, I wanted my team to win. And this whole story gets told through this incredible acrobats. And it's just incredible how it comes. And at first, I didn't realize it was based on Romeo and Juliet. But at the end, when you were like, oh, yeah, I get it now. I really understand like how it comes together and how the story is told. So my mind was blown. Some really, really unique and amazing entertainment to come. But obviously on our summer soirees that I'm leaving from the UK, there's a lot of artists across the UK that have not had a chance to kind of gig and get on the road. So we're also going to be giving some UK talent an opportunity to be able to come on board, and we'll slightly tweak our entertainment to allow some of these artists to come on board and be able to do some gigs on board as well.
That's a really nice thing to do, because the entertainment industry, it's been decimated. It's like the travel industry, the cruise industry. So that's a really nice thing to do, to allow them to come on board and showcase themselves. I think that's brilliant. So kudos for that. That's fab.
We can't wait to talk some British talent. So find the next big stars.
Oh, it's fabulous. I mean, I liked the brand when I got on board. It was different. I mean, like I said before, I've sailed with lots of different cruise lines for many, many years, and it was totally different. And I didn't really get the experience because it was just that few hours on board.
For a few hours,
I want to see the Scarlet Lady in action, because I think it will blow people's minds. It really will, about how it was a cruise, but not a cruise, if you know what I mean. It won't be the same. But I mean, so we're going to be doing the summer soirees. So we'll take some questions shortly, guys. If you do have any more questions, I can see there are some coming in. Pop them on, and I'm sure Shane will answer them. So the summer soirees are going to be going from Portsmouth, and you're doing 3 and 4 night sailings. Is that right?
Yes, 3 and 4 night sailing. So we're offering 3 and 4 nights. Of course, if sailors really want to do back-to-back voyages, they can take both back-to-back and make a 7-night voyage if they wanted to as well. So they can, if they want to escape to sea for 7 days, they can do that. Of course, they'll come back into Portsmouth. They'll stay on board the ship, and then they'll head back out on the second itinerary, which we can do. So that's an opportunity if people want that longer duration. But 3 and 4 nights, we're not calling it anywhere. So we're actually going to sail out to sea. We'll head down past the English Riviera. And a lot of people do ask about whether casinos will be open. Yes, they will be, because you need to be so much distance away from shore, which we will be. So casinos will, of course, be open for anybody who's feeling lucky. Then they'll be able to head down to the casino as well.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, just looking, I mean, in the industry, lots and lots of cruise lines. It's been like the Spanish Armada, the UK's open.
UK's from the cruise epicenter of the world, right?
It is. It's going to be like the M6 around the UK with all these cruise lines. But you guys came out, and I know that you go on sale tomorrow. So, you can pre-register with ourselves, and we can get you booked in the morning. But the pricing you came out with, from what the prices of Virgin have been previously, what was advertised and supposed to be going, a lot of people have been saying the prices are really, really keen. So we've got all the details up, so don't worry, I won't quiz you on all the prices. But
more than off the top of my head now.
Have you got them off the top of your head?
Brilliant. Yeah, more than all now. Yeah,
that is amazing if you've got that. But the prices, $499 for 3 nights on a brand spanking new ship that is absolutely going to blow your mind. it's just amazing. And that was great when that came out. But then you gave us all the prices, and it was like, but that's a sea terrace, that's a balcony. You've got your hammock on there that you can sit and swing away. Now, I did get in one, and it took a while to get back out of it.
Yeah, they're very relaxing, but they're not the easiest to get out of again. But yeah, I think you're right. I think one of the misconceptions is about price, actually, because if you actually look at our pricing, if you're looking at our website is showing per cabin price. So I think a lot of people see that price and we think it's per person. But actually, you can sail in the Mediterranean next year. You can have a 7-night sailing in the Med for just over £1,000 per person on an insider cabin. And obviously, if you want a sea view and Sea Terrace, the price increases. But one of the things about us is the fact that we have more included. So we have so much included in the price. So we have those 20 plus restaurants and eateries that we talked about. We include your tips. We include your Wi-Fi. We include all of your soft drinks as standard as well. We also include group fitness classes. And it's an adult-only experience. So you can sail in the Mediterranean in peak season without thinking about, you know, we all know that cruise lines, we show beautiful imagery, but it's not always the same experience when you're traveling in August when there's 400 kids on board. So we can offer that consistent level of experience by having no kids, an 18 plus experience means that you can get that adult retreat. So definitely for those teachers out there or people who are not wanting to travel with children or other people's children, then it gives them that unique experience. So I think these prices have actually been are really keenly priced, obviously, for the summer soiree sailing. However, they're not too dissimilar to what our normal per night pricing is. So it's worth having a look. If people love it and they take these summer soirees, then they can have a look, obviously, at what their other itineraries are. And of course, the summer soirees, we're giving away up to $400 onboard credit as well. So if you book a Sea Terrace, you're getting $200 per cabin. And if you book one of our suites, you'll get $400 per suite to spend on board as well.
That's just brilliant because you've got everything paid for. I mean, you know, $400. What's that? Is it 200? It's about
300 and something quid now, isn't it? Yeah.
My brain we were trying to work then. But yeah, that's brilliant. But then you've got the suites. So you've got the Rockstar suites and the Mega Rockstar suite. And I looked at the Sea Terrace, and then when you gave the pricing for the suites, I was like, oh, now I'm really, really tempted on one of the suites. And they're from on the 3 nights, $729 per person. And
the suites are incredible price, yeah. So the suites are amazing. I was selfishly looking up to price up the Mega Rockstar suites because I figured, you know what, it's 3 or 4 nights. We haven't had a chance to go anywhere else. Let's see the price. And I was really pleasantly $1,249 per person to do a Mega Rockstar. So Mega Rockstar gets you daily access to the thermal suite, so you get access to the spa. So of course you're going to be at sea at the time, so you want to go and have a little spa morning, that's included. We have the mud baths in there included as well. Also includes all of your drinks, so all of your alcoholic drinks are included in any of the Mega Rockstar proposition. And the Mega Rockstar also includes an unlimited in-room minibar as well. So you can choose whatever you like, and the Rockstar agents will take care of that for you and sort all of that out, as well as obviously you're going to have beautiful accommodation as well. So lots included within the Mega Rockstars. But also, like you mentioned, that the Rockstar pricing is also incredibly well priced as well. And with those, you do get the minibar included. But with both the Rockstar and Mega Rockstar, you'll also get access to Richard's Rooftop, which is a dedicated sun terrace area, which is reserved for our suite guests only. So yes, it's definitely worth treating yourself. If the funds are there and you've got those accidental savings where you've not been able to take the holidays and travel as much as you'd like, then this is a really good opportunity to go and treat yourself. And if you pick the massive suite, which is the biggest suite that we have on board, we only have 2 of those. One of those is actually where Richard Branson himself spent the night on board when the ship was in Dover. So you can take Richard's suite as well.
God, it's just amazing. It's amazing. I mean, the prices, as I say, are really, really good. And as I say, the people that we've seen talking about it over the last few days, that has really gone down really well. So that's brilliant. And then, guys, if you want to do a 4-night one, so the weekenders are the Friday to Monday, aren't they? It's Monday.
Friday to Monday, yeah, that's right. And then the 4-night, the summer weekdays, DAZE, summer weekdays are Monday through to Friday, and they're a 4-night itinerary. But one of my biggest tips actually about the cabins is if you were thinking about you want to get on board, but you're thinking, actually, I want to treat myself to a slightly larger cabin, you could treat yourself to an XL Sea Terrace. Now, unofficially, I call the XL Sea Terrace, they're a bit like premium economy for us. And I'm not saying our Sea Terrace is economy by any stretch, but they give you that extra space. So they have an extra large bathroom and they have a larger cabin. So the XL Sea Terrace is really good value for money. And those ones, you're looking at about £50 extra, I think, on the 3 and 4 nighter compared to the Sea Terrace price. So if you're looking to, you want a bigger room, then the XL Sea Terrace would be one to look for without having to, go up into Rockstar and Mega Rockstar suites. But as you mentioned, really, really great value for money. So some really great opportunities to really treat yourself to the top of the ship.
They are from $599 and $849 for the Rockstar, and there's only $1,499 for the Mega Rockstar suite. Yeah. So they are fantastic. And if you are in just the Sea Terrace with your $400 when you do your bar tab, which is, you pay $300, you've got $400 to spend. You've practically got nothing else to pay for, unless you want to have more drinks. It's good. Yeah. Oh, go on. I was going to say this: the bar tabs. If you buy a bar tab, say before you go, but then you want to do another bar tab on board, can you do that on board and purchase it again?
No, bar tabs are only pre-bookable. So bar tabs are only pre-bookable. So the whole point about bar tab is to pre-book them before you get on board the ship to get that bonus money. So you'll get the $400 for the price of $300. But once you've run out of bar tab, if you've had a really great time and you've run out of bar tab, then you just go to spend as you go on board. You just go to buy individual drink pricing. The drink prices are the same whether you're using your bar tab or whether you're not using the bar tab. The whole point of the bar tab is by prepaying, you're obviously getting that bonus. So that's why we do the bar tab, for the prepaying to it pays to prepay, as we say. So prepaying, putting some money down behind the bar, you get that extra bonus.
Yeah, I think for me, we might have to do one each, and then that might do us. We like our gins and we like our champagnes and cocktails.
Well, you might want to work out, Martin. By the time you've done a bar tab each, you may look at thinking, actually, you might be better off taking a Rockstar or a Mega Rockstar suite by the time you do that. So you might want to price it up and see how it works out.
Well, I'll speak to the hubby about that. So what we'll do now, shall we? Just before we finish on that side, the cabin. So if you look at the Sea Terrace, I think something that's amazing is the beds.
Yes,
totally different.
I was glad you mentioned that, actually. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it because I was looking to spend 6 nights on board because we had the ship in Dover and then I sailed around to Liverpool and stayed on board there. So one of the unique features about our cabin is the complete design. So we've actually patented the design of our cabins so they can't be replicated. So the cabins have got a unique design. Normally, cruise cabins kind of interlocked, which means you have a part of the next door's cabin protruding into yours, and they're kind of interlocked all the way through. Where our cabins are at a slight angle as they go down the ship, the walls are at a slight angle. So it means that the cabins don't have to be locked in the same way. And it means that we have really clear wall space. So we've designed the cabins to be really sleek and really clean vibes. But we have something called the Seabed, which again is a patented design. It's designed to be a comfortable bed first. So that's the primary focus of it. But it does actually swing into day mode. So it actually transforms into a large L-seat couch. And it basically means that your cabin becomes a suite because your cabin becomes a living room by day and a bedroom by night. Or if you want to leave it in bed mode the entire time, you can do. And obviously our canisters will take care of that for you. Or if you have a bit of a fallout and you want it in sofa mode the entire time, you can do. But I think one of the things that I found about that was the cabin just was so much more versatile. And I was on board, obviously, some colleagues, and sometimes I want to say, right, just do you want to come back to mine for a quick drink before we head out, or let's have a quick meeting in mine, where normally you would find it a bit awkward, someone sat on your bed, where actually it's transformed into a living room. So you've got that space where you can host people. And because you haven't just got a bed in a box, it just transforms into total vibe of the cabin. We've also got incredible mood lighting, so you can set the mood of the cabin. The cabins are really clever. They can actually go to sleep themselves. So when you leave, it'll turn the air conditioning down, it'll draw the blinds. And then when you go back to the cabin, it'll wake up to the right time of day. So if it's daytime, it will open up the blinds to give you your view out to the ocean. Or if it's nighttime, I'll keep the blinds closed, it'll keep the lights low, and it really sets the atmosphere for going to bed in your cabin. So the cabin have got loads of different modes that you can control. There is a tablet in the cabin, so you can control the tablet there. And you can also order snacks. We call it Ship Eats. So you can order different dishes from different restaurants on board the ship, either via the app or via the tablet, and get them delivered to your cabin as well.
It just sounds amazing. The great thing is as well, you've got the 3 and 4 share, haven't you? So if you want to get the gang together, you want to take a few friends, and you want to make it a little bit more accessible. Not that it's not accessible in price now, but we did a little bit of working out. And if you're going to go for 3 nights, if 4 of you want to go on a cabin, it's £409 each.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're going with, if you're doing a bit of a girl trip to go away, or as a group of you want to go away on a trip, for 3 nights I think is enough for you to be able to share it for sharing the cabin. It does get cozy when you've got 4 people, but the prices, they say if you just want to get on board and use your cabin for somewhere to sleep, the great thing is when the beds are away and it's transformed into day mode, it's a great living room space. So there's plenty of space for you to all get ready. And I know if people are on a girls' trip and doing a spa break on board and those kind of things, the cabins are ample space for what you need.
It blew me away, and it was just like, wow, this is so exciting. It really is. The fact that cruising starting is absolutely brilliant. Starting in the UK, we're going to be leading the world with all these cruises, but now we've got all these new ships, and now we've got Scarlet Lady. Nobody's been on, and this is a great opportunity to get on and experience what's going to be an amazing brand. So, and I can't wait to get on board. I really can't. So, but talking to the hubby, he has actually asked a question. And let's just have a look what he's popped up. So let's turn that banner off. We don't need that for a moment. In fact, we'll leave it scrolling through. So with COVID-19 restrictions, what will dining be like on board? So
So dining won't be probably too much dissimilar to what you would experience in a restaurant on land, where you're going to see more space between people. So one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we are committed to is delivering the service and experience that we've advertised and that we've promised. So we didn't want to run limited number of restaurants or limited number of venues. We will still offer all the venues and everything that's advertised, but we'll be sailing at a much reduced capacity. So we're going to be sailing at a little over 50% capacity, which means that we can still operate all of the restaurants, but with having that social distancing. So what you will find is you'll have different spaces between the tables. So that will mean that we've obviously got more social spacing. Probably one of the only restaurants that will be more different than it normally would be is our Korean barbecue restaurant, Gumbay. Now, I love Gumbay. I ate there 6 times. I was on board for 6 nights, so do the maths. But it was brilliant. I had an amazing time in there. Typically in Gumbay, what normally happen is there are tables for 8, and it's the only restaurant where we would encourage you to sit with other sailors, because it's all about that kind of environment of getting to know each other. You play drinking games as part of the Korean culture, and you barbecue your meat in the middle of the table. But obviously with the COVID restrictions, we're not going to be able to bring groups of people together so close like that. So you will go in there and be seated with your party. So you'll be seated with people that you're traveling with, rather with other people. That's the only restaurant that I would say would be different to our normal operation. Everywhere else we will have space between the tables and have that room for that social distancing.
That's brilliant. And talking of with what's going on in the world at the moment, we're hopefully getting to the end of it. Fingers crossed. Things are a lot more positive than they were 12 months ago. But in terms of people coming on board, everybody has to be vaccinated, don't they? Both jabs. And is it minimum of 7 or 14 days?
It's minimum of 2 weeks, yeah. So you need to be fully vaccinated, which is 2 jabs. So obviously there's development in terms of different jabs coming out. So if you have a single dose jab, then you only also need that 2 weeks before you sail. So I know there's talk of those coming out. But right now it's double dose jabs, and you need to have them both at least 2 weeks before your departure. So if you've had it now and you're waiting for your second one, then of course you'll have that in plenty of time for us to depart in August. And our intention is our crew will also be fully vaccinated as well. So we want to make sure that it's the safest possible way to travel, and we're dedicated and always have been to the health and well-being of our crew and our sailors. So by having those limited distancing, having all of the technology that we have on board, we've got brand new ships which we're very lucky about. But we've also introduced things called Voyage Well, which Voyage Well is our health and safety protocols. And we've invested in something called Atmosair. Now, Atmosair is an ionization process which actually kills 99.9% of bacteria in the air, including COVID-19. So that was another investment from our part. And it's actually the kind of filtration system that they have in surgeries in hospitals. So it means that the air is incredibly clean without you even noticing it. It's a way for us to be able to make sure that we keep our crew and our sailors safe.
And one of the big questions we get asked about cruising as we restart is when people are on board, with regards to, I know it depends on what the government says by the time we sail, but will people be required to wear masks around the pool and outside areas, or is it only when you're moving around inside?
Yeah, so right now we're saying that we'll always follow the Public Health England advice. So whatever Public Health England are advising, then of course we will follow those rules because they're there to keep us all safe. Right now it would be where it's not possible to be able to social distance. So if you're in a public space, so of course if you're inside and you're in an elevator, then you obviously haven't got that same level of distance that you would if you were outside. But the idea is once you sat down at a table or once you sat and you're not moving around, then of course you can remove your mask. And by having a ship that normally would carry 2,700 sailors and sailing at just over half of that, then of course there is plenty of space because the ship is designed to carry that many people. So we've got plenty of space to be outside or be, have to have your own personal space in all of our venues.
Sounds fab. I mean, we've all got used to wearing masks anyway now, haven't we? It's become part of daily life. So I'm all right with that. I've got masks to take.
And we don't know what's going to happen between now and August, right? So if things change and things develop by August, that actually masks don't become part of our life as much as they are now, then of course we will follow those guidances as well to make sure that we're relaxing that where we can.
Oh, brilliant. And Peter, I think you know Peter because I think he cornered you yesterday, didn't he? Yes,
I'm going to be joining you. I know you were on yesterday. I'm with you guys on Sunday now, so I'm going to be on with Amigo Pete and the rest of you guys. So yeah, I'll be on Sunday.
Oh, brilliant! So hi, Pete. Nice to see you tuning in. Next question: can you use your onboard credit for a bar tab, or is this separate?
They are separate. Yeah, you can't use the onboard credit for a bar tab because it's basically using a promotion for a promotion, if that makes sense. It kind of cancels itself out. It confuses the system. So the onboard credit you can use for the bars. So the onboard credit you can absolutely use on the bars as well. So that is obviously free money that you're getting as part of the package. So you can use that and go and spend that for drinks as well if you wanted to. The benefit about the onboard credit is it's not just for drinks. You can actually use it in the spa or you can use it in the retail shops, etc. But you can't use it to buy the bar tab. The bar tab you would physically need to buy $300 worth of bar tab to get the extra $100.
Fantastic. That answers that one. What have we got? Who's next? Virgin have by far the best solo prices I have seen. So yeah, I mean solo prices. We haven't covered the solos. I think I've got it here somewhere. Where was it?
Yeah. So are you going to catch me off guard now as to how much the solo prices are? But the solo prices are incredible value for money. You know what? One of the things that we always do at Virgin, and this is what I think that really sets Virgin apart, and one thing that I love about being able to work for the company is we always make decisions based on the sailor experience and what is right for the sailor. So quite often solo cabins can be very, very expensive. Quite often they're, one person plus 2/3 of the other person's price. But we based it on these cabins having really great space for an individual and being perfectly set up for solos and designing those cabins, which means that we've been able to price them accordingly. So we really price them based on the square footage of the cabin. So it's not quite the same price as an individual because it's not half the size of a Sea Terrace, for example. But because of the square footage of the cabin, we've been able to price it accordingly. So there's all logic about the pricing. So it's not just a case we've gone, right, the solo pricing is 1.5 or 1 2/3 of 2 people traveling. We've actually designed these cabins to go, actually, they've got really good space for a solo traveler, but also it means that we can price them accordingly. So yeah, we've done a really good job, I think, at the solo pricing.
I'll save you on that one, Shane. So the solo prices with the 3 nights are $479 for an inside and $579 for a outside. So sea view. So again, that is an amazing price. I mean,
and the sea view has actually got a beautiful, it's got a beautiful seat in the window as well, so you can actually sit in the window and actually watch the world go by as well, which is a great feature.
Or you could do your flake moment. Remember years ago when she was sat with the flake?
Yeah, you can do your moment. Yeah, we'll even throw in a flake, maybe.
Guys, if you're considering any of these cruises, I mean, we've still got some questions to go through, but guys, if you're considering, drop me an email, give me a call, and the numbers are going across the bottom of the screen, and we'll get you pre-registered ready for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we've already got some, and in talking of somebody who's already booked, ready to go, is a good friend of mine, Penny Wright, who we met on an 80s cruise. So she's fab, Penny. She's life and soul of the party. So she said, is there an e-brochure that we can browse? For example, we would like to see what restaurants are available. do you have to book in advance to the restaurants? Well, I think you covered that earlier on. You can just go when you want, can't you, on the restaurants?
Yeah, well, I can talk a little bit more about the restaurants if you like. But the first thing is, yes, there is an e-brochure, which is great. So, Martin, I can make sure that you've got the link for that, and then you can share that out with Penny and anybody else who wants it. So, yes, there is an e-brochure. It's great. You can have a look through and see all the different restaurants that are available. When it comes to booking restaurants, we like the idea of having the serendipitous approach, right? We think our sailors like the idea of being able to, me and you were chatting, Martin, you said, well, have you been to Extra Virgin, which is the Italian? It's brilliant. You want to go there tonight? And we like the ability to be able to go, actually, yes, I want to do that. You can actually book the restaurants on the app. It's like Open Table. So, you know, you can go and see what restaurants are available, what times are available, and you can literally go in and book it there and then. So you can pre-book either before you go, or you can pre-book once you're on board the ship. Or you can join, if you haven't pre-booked, you can join a virtual queue. So the last thing we want you to do is waste any of your holiday time standing in line waiting outside the restaurant. So you could be sat in the bar and think, well, actually, we're going to the Italian, but we really fancy the Korean barbecue tonight. You can go onto the app, join the virtual queue, carry on enjoying your evening, and we'll let you know when the table is available. And it'll tell you the estimated wait time, so you don't have any wasted holiday time. You can stay where you are, and the app will take care of it. And we'll just ping you to let you know that your table is available, and then you just make way down to the restaurant and head in. So the only lines we want on board are tan lines, is what we like to say. So we don't need to have to stand around queuing. And it's the same for reception. If you want to speak to our sailor services crew, you don't need to get up on your sun lounger. You can do it all via an instant chat on the app, or you can send them a message. You can request different pillows. You can get the help you need, but without having to go stand in line or going to have to see somebody. It's all taken care of.
I like that idea, because there's nothing worse than when you're at the pool side and you think, oh, I need to go down and queue for dinner, or that's just amazing, because I like the sort of, I like to sit on the lounger and chill out. So
and it's great. You can just sit there and go, right, I'm going to join a queue, and actually I'm ready when they are, or I'm just going to sit here and do a thing. You don't have to go get dressed, go downstairs, go stand in line, wait behind the velvet ropes where you have to go round and round to try and speak to somebody. And actually, it's just a much better experience, right? And it's easy for our crew to pick something quickly, because you can just message them and then get it sorted for you straight away, which is great. An important point about the plug socket. So we do have US and European plug sockets, and we also have, I think, a minimum of 6 USB ports in all of our cabins as well. So our cabins have actually been designed by a lady. So we've got the glam area, which has got all the plug sockets and everything you need to be able to get ready. So we've got brilliant lighting as well. So we've got backlit mirrors, which apparently I think is really important for your makeup. So you obviously, Martin, you'll be getting your makeup on in the glam area before you head out. But yeah, apparently the lighting is perfect for that. And one of the things that was unique, which my team were telling me about, is we actually have makeup towels. So we actually have some black small towels in every cabin as well, which are makeup towels, to stop you getting mascara on our nice white towels. So that was quite cool as well. That was, designed by a lady, so she's thought of everything. So
she actually thought of everything that every lady could ever require. So and the guys out there, we won't put it out there that just to get our women. Yeah. So guys are like
absolutely
that.
Not. Yeah, absolutely.
Another question, Debbie Worrell. Is room service included in the 20 eateries?
So room service is included. There is a room service menu on the tablet or on the app, so you'll be able to order those. Now, the easiest way to describe it is room service comes with a $5 delivery fee, unless you're ordering something that has a price to it. So if you were ordering a drink, then there is no fee. The fee is waived. You only pay a $5 delivery fee if what you're ordering is free. And the only reason for that is not to make money. It's to basically just make sure that we're managing the amount of people that are using it. So we don't want people just wasting food and ordering things and getting it delivered to you. Now, one of the things about room service, I was looking up when I joined the company to have a lot of time at the beginning to understand how the product works, and we kind of all discussed kind of things that we love about cruising, and if you could change something about cruising, what would you change? And one of the things I said that I really don't like about cruising is when you go down the corridors and you see all of these empty trays and half-eaten pizzas in the middle of the night and those kind of things. I was like, it's not very appealing, and it's just not what I think is a quality experience. And with that, our team then revealed to me the way that they've got something created, which is our Ship Eats delivery bag. So what actually happens is all of your meals get delivered to you via room service, and it comes in some metal containers that are actually all stacked on top of each other, and they get put in a bag, and the bag clips at the top. So you order it, and then they'll come and hang it on the door, knock on the door and leave, and then you can actually grab the bag and untake all the containers, and it'll all fold out for you. When you're done, you stack up all the containers again, you put it inside the washable bag, and you hook it on your door, and there's no nasty trays lying around in the hallways. There's no half-eaten food on display. Everything gets stacked up back together, hung on the door, and it's all clear. So the only thing you see is bags on the door rather than an empty tray with all the stuff all over it.
That's brilliant. I like that idea. That's amazing. I didn't know anything about that.
It's like really posh camping. It's really good. You know those metal containers, how they all stock on top of each other, and it means your cold food comes cold, your hot food comes hot. And it means we don't have any of those nasty cellophanes, because of course you know that we're really passionate about keeping the oceans blue. So we have a ban on single-use plastics. We have no single-use plastics on board the ship at all. So being able to get rid of that cellophane and those horrible trays that come along and have these really cool bags. And the bags are completely washable. The containers are all reusable. And like I said, they all stack on top of each other. So it's dead easy to put back together, clip it on without having to leave a nasty tray outside your door.
I absolutely love that idea. So kudos to Virgin for doing that. And again, you know, looking after the oceans is really important to a lot of people around the world. So I think that's really good. What's this one here? Peter said, a great opportunity for first-time cruises to experience cruising at such a reasonable price. Yeah, I agree with that one, definitely, because
that's what we're hearing a lot. We're hearing a lot of people who've never considered a cruise before, and especially people who would love the Virgin Voyages experience, because we know there's people outside. Oh, I think I'm missing somebody. Sorry, I'm just going to send a message. There are people that are we know people that are out that have never cruised before, that would normally go to somewhere like Mykonos or Ibiza or some of the beautiful destinations that we'd normally sail to, and they're choosing Virgin Voyages because we have that vibe on board for them. So they're coming to us because we have that vibe of those amazing destinations that they love, and that kind of opportunity to be able to be us, come as you are, without having to get dressed up and all the typical formalities that come with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think, I mean, I know we did some training with you guys a few days ago, and we looked, and you guys have really looked into how much it costs for like a good quality accommodation in the UK, and the prices compared to what you would be paying, and especially now because you can't get anything for love of the money, can you? Because everything's been booked up for quite a while. This is just it's a brilliant price.
Well, I just come back from a lodge break. So I just went to West Wales for a lodge break. I live in Wales, so we were able to travel to self-catering accommodation. And I paid a lot more than two people would for our voyages, with nothing included. Just a lodge in West Wales. So as much as it is beautiful, in terms of value for money, it doesn't compare when it comes to all the things that we've got included.
It does. And one of the questions leading on from that, do we pay the full price or can we pay a deposit? Well, it's deposit, isn't it? And it's only 15%.
Yeah, well, it's a 20% deposit, but most of the voyages will be coming into full payment as well now. So because the balance is due 120 days before departure, so most of them will be coming up towards balance due now anyway. So we'll be getting very close to it. If not, we're a week or two out from balance due. So yeah, be full payment pretty soon on those ones.
That's good. It's good though. I mean, even that, if you pay for a good hotel in these rates, which you get good rates on, you have to pay in advance anyway, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One last question, Shane, and this is from Lizzie Lou, who's booked a number of different cruises with me. She has. So, can we go on another ship a few days before boarding? Because a lot of the cruise lines at the moment are saying you have to have a 7-day gap between sailings, but you're saying you can do the back-to-back. Could they have been on one cruise and then come on yours a couple of days later?
It's actually a really good question. We have our legal team looking into this right now because we can't figure out why that's a rule. So we just want to make sure that we haven't missed a trick on it as to why it is a rule. Because if all of our sailors are fully vaccinated, as is the requirement, it doesn't really make any sense to say you can't go on another cruise ship and then come on to Virgin Voyages, because you could be in a restaurant or anywhere across the country, right? So it doesn't seem to make any sense to us as to why that would be a rule. But we are just digging into that, and we'll be revealing some more FAQs later today once we have the legal stance on that, to let you know whether that is a requirement or not. But right now we can't see why it is. If I'm honest with you, we were trying to figure it out. So, well, why does that need to be a rule? So, yeah, we'll let you know as soon as we have a final decision on that.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we'll wait to hear from you on that one. But Shane, I just want to say thank you for joining us today. I mean, it's been amazing, guys. Shane to get Shane today to come along and talk to you is amazing, because it's so busy the weeks before launch, never mind the day before a launch. So, Shane, Brilliant. Thank you for coming on today, and we'll.
No, thank you, Martin. Thanks for having me. You managed to grab my last hour in the diary, so I was glad were able to make it work. So thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, brilliant. Well, guys, listen, goes on sale tomorrow, and it's going to sell. I mean, it's half capacity. These sailings are going to sell. There's only a few of them in August. Get your pre-registrations into me today. I'm open till 10 o'clock. You can call me 0161 735 0112. Everybody, you can message me on Facebook. I'm always on there, so you'll get quite a good response very quick, and we will get you booked tomorrow. I'm going to be looking at the Rockstar Suites without a doubt. I don't know whether the hubby's going to be happy when I tell him. But guys, with what you're getting, it's a fabulous deal. And if you've never sailed before, first-time cruises, you'll get on board and you'll know what you've been missing in cruising. So, Shane, Thank you for joining us today, and I really, really appreciate your time. I know it is precious, and we'll look forward to getting everybody booked on tomorrow.
Yeah, and, I know everybody watching, you're in absolutely safe hands with Martin. He knows everything about Virgin Voyages inside out. So he's done an amazing job doing all the training and everything, haven't you, Martin? So thank you, Martin, for your support. And everybody watching, give Martin a call and he'll take great care of you.
Brilliant. That's great. Guys, any more questions, pop them in. And if I need to get them, I'll answer them. But thank you for joining us this afternoon. And we will catch up with you very, very shortly. Bye for now.
Bye.